There's a gold rush going on right now to build AI agents, but of course the question is, what should those agents do? What exactly do you build agents for? And this recent paper out of Stanford takes a stab at answering that question. The way they do that is they go out and interview and survey a number of workers across a broad range of tasks and asks them, what kinds of tasks do you want AI agents to automate? And they have some pretty interesting results, so let's look into that. This is an example of the kinds of questions on that survey. The first question simply asks them, if an AI system were to do this task for you, how much would you want it to do it? So this is a measure of desire for automation. And then the second question is more about the degree of automation. How much collaboration would you want with this AI agent, ranging from no collaboration at all to the human very much being in the loop? And this degree of automation is measured in their, as the authors call it, human agency scale. It's kind of like the inverse of the autonomy scale that you might have seen for autonomous systems like self-driving cars, where the lower levels, 1 and 2, mean that the AI agent is almost autonomous or fully autonomous and is driving the task. Somewhere in the middle indicates that the human and AI agent are actively collaborating with each other, whereas 4 and 5 are the levels where the human is very much in the loop and actually driving task completion. Let's look at the results. This chart shows that across all tasks, about 46% of the tasks were of high automation desire, so greater than 3 on that scale we just looked at. And the breakdown by industry or vertical is interesting. If you look at computer and mathematical, which I'm guessing is a lot of programming and data science, the automation desire is much higher, almost 54%. Whereas if you look at art and media, the automation desire is very, very low, just around 17%. In terms of what were the reasons that workers wanted automation, the biggest reason, no surprise, is that automating the task would free them up for more high-value work. The least popular reason, which to me at least was a surprise, is that the task is complicated or difficult. And one would think that if a task is difficult or complicated, you'd want it automated. I'm guessing what this is a proxy for is the feeling that this task needs some innate human judgment or human involvement. Now, here's the surprise, this pie chart over here. They took this desire for automation data and joined it with some recent data that Anthropic had published about the kinds of tasks that people use their Claude model for. And when they do that comparison, the authors here see that the top 10 occupations with the highest average automation desire, so the occupations that most want stuff to be automated by AI agents, represented only about 1.26% of total usage in Claude. And this is a gap, a key gap that the authors want to highlight. They're trying to say that there is a lot of work left to be done because the tasks that people most want automated are not being automated by AI yet. Now, once you have this data, you can slice and dice it a few different ways. And this is one interesting analysis that the authors have done on top of that. They take the automation desire data and also join it with the capabilities of models and systems today as rated by AI experts. And then you can make this interesting 2 by 2, where on the top right is the quadrant that shows that current models and systems are capable of doing a task, and also workers are saying that they have a high desire for this task to be automated. So that obviously is what they're calling the green light zone. Please just go ahead and build AI agents for these tasks. The one next to it here is where the desire is high, but the capabilities have not yet been fully developed. So that's the place where research is needed. And then these bottom 2 quadrants are the places where desire for automation is low. They've gone and done this interesting breakdown of recent Y Combinator companies and where they fall in this 2 by 2. And you can see that almost half of them fall in this bottom area, especially what they call the red light zone, where the capability is high, but the desire is very low. So workers are resistant, actively resistant to automation. And now that you have some AI expert assessments about how much human agency a task will require in the future, or conversely, how much it can be automated by AI, you can then look at this range of tasks that humans currently do. And the authors have ranked it by average wage, and then see how those tasks fall in a world where AI agents are automating some of them. So, for example, a very highly paid task is analyzing data science. And that goes somewhere near the middle or the bottom of the stack rank of tasks that require human agency. The red tasks in this diagram are the ones which fell the most, and the green ones are the ones which rose the most. So things like performing administrative activities, documenting and recording information, monitoring processes. These are all activities that are fairly highly paid, but require very low human agency, or will require low human agency in this new world. Whereas these green tasks, things like organizing and planning work, or training and teaching others, these are not highly paid today, but will require a lot of human agency in this new world. Now, this is really valuable data. If nothing else, for people that are building AI agents, this is great market research, and it's pretty actionable, it's very granular. But all the same, there are a few caveats we should be aware of. The first one, the biggest one in my mind, is that all the people that were surveyed, you have to assume that some of their responses, or most of their responses, might be colored by the fear of being displaced or replaced by AI. And that might lead them to withhold honest feedback on what kind of tasks they do want automated. The other big limitation in my mind is that the tasks themselves are somewhat backward looking. So you're asking what current tasks people want automated, but things might look very different if you think from an AI first or an AI native point of view, in that the entire basket of tasks might look very different. So those are 2 caveats that we should keep in mind as we look at this study. But overall, this study is full of really useful information. It points out some gaps in terms of what agents people should be building versus that the agents that a lot of companies are currently trying to build and sell into the market. So I'd encourage you to take a look at the whole paper. All right, thanks.